Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be reacting to 10 reasons to own gold. Interesting twist at the end. If you saw my other video, you probably know what it's going to be, but today we're going to be going through 10 reasons that you should be thinking about owning this. We've got some interesting sort of world gold here. In front of us we have an Isle of Man crown. We've got a Belgian 50 écus, or 50 euro, maybe. I don't know exactly what it is. And then a pretty nice condition. I'm probably going to send this off for grading. 1909 Russian 5 rubles. But most of my personal gold, and this might be in contrast to what I talk about in the video, is actually in a bank deposit vault. That's because I just think that makes a lot of sense from a safety perspective. This is all about to leave my possession. So anyways, let's jump into the reasons. But the first is going to be a store of value. I think I agree with all of these, but there's some where I have a nuance. Store of value. Gold has been regarded as a store of value for centuries and has proven to hold its value over time. I generally tend to think that this is very true. When you look in the longer term, gold has had a good track record. Now, this is not an investment video. It's not investment advice. And so I think that just because it's had good results in the past, maybe it's overvalued right now and it's going to be hurt or worsened. But I think when you look objectively, without being political, I think there's a lot of money being printed, and there's a lot of velocity of that money. So whatever your economic theory is, I think it's pretty challenging to say that there's not inflation. And gold, of course, there's more supply that comes on the market, but it's a little bit out of the sort of monetary system that we create our dollars and euros and rubles on. And so, that's just something to be aware of. And I think that when you look at $20 in 1919, that's like 96% of an ounce of gold. Today, 96% of an ounce of gold is like $2,000. So it's gone up by 100. And I think most currencies probably there's a lot of, that's just in nominal dollar terms, but I think that that's keeping pretty well up with something like inflation, which brings us to the next point, inflation hedge. It's historically been used as a hedge against inflation, as its price tends to rise in response to inflationary pressures. That's relatively true. I think when interest rates are really high, and now I'm getting to the silver that I'm using as a background, the only issue is if you can get 20% on your money, then something like this is just sitting there. If the inflation is eventually going to come under, not be a problem anymore, this is not spitting out 20% more gold every year, but that's just the one thing to keep into account. But I think in hyperinflationary environments, gold's great. And generally, I think just people are pretty interested in it. But it can be hurt by rising rates or a strong dollar. 3 is portfolio diversification. It's a popular diversification tool for investors looking to balance their portfolios and hedge against economic and political risks. I generally agree with this. I personally am not hugely weighted towards gold and silver. I also feel like my YouTube and coin selling business is pretty, not levered, but it's like, it kind of is levered to silver and gold because, right, if I'm buying and selling a lot of gold and silver and talking about it, if there's more interest in silver and gold and the prices is going up, I'm going to own some. So I don't want to over allocate it towards it, even if I believe in it. Like by operating in that space naturally, I'm pretty allocated towards it from an overall business perspective. 4, a safe haven asset. Gold is considered a safe haven asset during times of economic and political uncertainty, as it tends to hold its value or even increase in value during market downturns. I'm forgetting about the market downturn aspect of it. I'm just thinking, yes, it is a safe haven during times of political uncertainty, and as a result, having some level of exposure to gold, especially gold that you can keep on you, and we'll get to that in a moment. Again, it just makes sense. It sort of works for me. And in places, Turkey, Venezuela, all across the world, having gold instead of, currency, paper or fiat currency has made sense. So even if it's just 2%, something to think about is all I'm saying. 5, geopolitical tensions. Gold can act as a hedge against geopolitical tensions and conflicts, as it's a globally recognized asset that can easily be traded. That's very true. It's easy to trade, and you can get any local currency virtually in the world for gold. There's a lot less people who want to take some types of local currencies, especially weak ones, and trade that for gold. So you're going to have to maybe you can get a lot of it, but just something to be, again, aware of. Gold it's the same across the world. As long as it's not fake, people are going to be excited about it. 6, limited supply. The supply of gold is finite, and new sources of gold are becoming increasingly difficult and expensive to mine. That's true. I think mining, it is becoming more expensive, but if the price of gold goes up, it doubles. A ton of mining companies are going to be very profitable, but also have a lot of profitable gold and could mine a lot more gold at $2,500 an ounce than they can at 16. So again, it's a limited supply, but there's also a ton of new gold that's being unearthed. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. 7, industrial demand. It's used in a variety of industries, including electronics, medical equipment, and aerospace, creating demand beyond as a store of value. I think it's more true for silver, but gold definitely still has that component, and it kind of gives it a nice value. It's such a good conductor. If gold were to fall a ton, nobody cared about it anymore as an investment use. It would certainly be nice in appliances, but that's not really why I'm investing in it, but it's nice to know. And again, not investment advice, but that's like not something that factors into why I'm picking it up. I'm not going to put it in I'm not going to build a computer and use it, or build a rocket or something. 8, cultural significance. Has significance in many societies around the world and is used in religious ceremonies, weddings, and other important events. I don't come from a culture where we use gold a ton in those sorts of things. But I think it is for a lot of the world, and I think that that's pretty relevant. So I would definitely say that that's very true. Just not personally true, but I feel like that's more true for a lot of people, and for me seeing other people use it versus how I'm looking at it in industrial demand. 9, portability. Gold is a highly portable asset that can be easily transported and traded globally. Completely agree. This gold coin right here is worth double all of the silver in the background. So much more portable, and you can also carry $100,000, $200,000 of gold pretty under the radar, and I think that matters a lot. And it also matters a lot when you can carry $1,000 of gold, like this half ounce item, in a very small amount of pocket or wherever you're bringing it. So it does have an advantage over silver on that front too. And then 10, beauty and aesthetics. Gold is a beautiful metal that is highly valued for its aesthetic qualities and is often used in jewelry and decorative arts. Definitely agree. I think the items are themselves very nice to look at. They've been recognized as probably nice to look at for thousands of years. If you think about when coinage started and trading gold and silver, gold and silver sort of came onto the scene pretty much at the same time in terms of the coinage, within a century probably. Silver is really pretty too. Gold probably takes the cake, in my opinion, for beauty. Though if silver was worth what gold is and gold was worth what silver, maybe we'd get bored of the gold look. But there's just something that's like gold just wins it in terms of the aesthetics. And I don't have any gold jewelry, but totally get the appeal to it. It's really just a nice look, and probably we think that way because it's associated with a lot of value, but gold, really cool. I think the twist here is that all 10 of these reasons were generated by OpenAI's ChatGPT function, so it was sort of a reaction video, though I agree with a lot of it. Some of them were somewhat repetitive, but I would probably be interested in making videos sort of on individual of these points going forward. Super interesting discussion. I thought I had fun thinking about it and thinking about what AI thinks about gold. So let me know if you agree with the machine or if you have a different take or a comment on something I said. Always excited to open up a dialogue. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit our website, treasuretown.com, to stay up to date on everything going on the channel and possibly get some great deals on coins and collectibles. We look forward to seeing you on our future videos, and best wishes until then.